30-something of us now that have actually enrolled in it. Looks like there's only about maybe 10 people have loaded something in it.
Yeah.
I think so far, from what I can tell, I'm watching it.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm getting all the.
So you're getting the
emails.
Text messages.
I mean, the text messages.
That's my situation. I'm getting text messages, but
you can't get it to work either.
I don't even know what my password is.
Well, you make up your own password.
Yeah, when you get the email, you go to the link in the email first to make sure you do that.
Yeah, I did that. And then we downloaded it.
This is something I started last week.
And then
I'm part of that too.
she did it again to reset my password, and I clicked on it again.
Wait, how do you use the new
You did that with your phone? Oh, I did.
Yeah,
Because this is, we knew we were going to have
It's like oversell by owner.
I think I should delete it.
I didn't know what it was. Yeah, exactly.
Delete the app.
It's one of the things that adds about the exchange. So did you go up in uphold it? Okay, that's right there. I graduated in 1990. Excuse me, from Memorial. Sorry, that is different now. Oh, okay. My brother worked for farmers years and years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, no,
That's been probably 10 or 15 years.
They've changed a lot. Did anybody get mine that I put in last night?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah. This is in like sour.
Oh, this is mine. There it is.
Because I got one text with yours, like yesterday.
To reset your Kevo app password.
Yeah, but you need to let's try this one. Go to your Safari. And
I've gotten one text from everybody, but that's it.
Well, I realized I was in development, Kevo, instead of it. Did you go to the real
Yeah,
one?
I reloaded it.
Huh?
Because I think even when I tried to do this,
oh, I see. Okay. Okay. So that is kind of a top question.
For me?
Well, Jen, this is what I got. I got
yeah.
this is what Christy's seen, and I click here.
Yeah. I got a little bit
And the first time I did, nothing came out.
little pending.
Yeah, mine's just crashing.
You did.
Try to redo it again.
There's something in the settings I need to enable.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna go ahead and take over today, okay?
Okay, you take
everybody,
over.
we're on video now.
Yeah,
you're in front of it.
Go ahead, do it. You can sit by me too.
Hey, you look good.
Kevo's linked to my
Hey, you got a lot of kids in today. I like it.
I have to ask Christy.
Starting them early. See, Baca, that's the exact hat that we were looking at. Yeah. You're dogging it. Now he's wearing it. All right. Everyone gets here between 9 and 9:10 usually. So I'm always worried, like 5 till.
She wants the new Kevo watch to say, get up and go to work.
Yeah, one's that. Just set an automatic timer at 7 a.m. You just can't turn it off. All right. Well,
Every hour can say, call dispos.
make it talk to you. All right, we'll get fired up here. Today is. I know I had a lot of people text me asking what the topic was going to be. Apparently, there's more people wondering than I thought. So we're going to have emails go out Mondays, hopefully, and then text messages go out Friday as reminders. But today we're going to talk about networking, properly networking. So networking is one of our Kevo income producing activities that we always talk about. Amy, I was just kind of talking with you about the 4 things that you have to do, get really good at, make all the money you want to make. This is it. Networking, open house, for sale by owners, and recruiting. These are the things that are going to turn you, that are going to build a business and also sell houses in the meantime. So the first one is networking, or the one we're going to talk about today is networking. So before we talk about what networking is, always want to talk about what networking is not. First, a common misconception about networking is going to a city of commerce meeting and everyone passing out business cards, or luncheons and shaking hands and passing out business cards. That's not a very effective way of networking. Because what happens is everyone goes there expecting to give out all their business cards and don't really care about getting any business cards, and then no one does any business. They just change cards. And they throw all the cards in the trash, and they talk about how many cards they handed out. It's not necessary. Real networking, when I'm doing actual networking, a lot of times I don't even give business cards. I don't have business cards a lot of the time. If it's someone that I want to work with in the future, I'm not going to give them my business card. I'm going to get their information. I'm going to get their business card. And then I'm going to reach out to them in the future. So just giving out business cards, mailers, stuff like that, that's not effective ways of networking. Networking is tapping into your relationships, whether they be brand new or 10 years old, tapping into those relationships and making sure that they know what you're doing and they know how to help you. Because these are your friends, your family, maybe old co-workers, people at church, people on the kids' baseball team. These are people that know you, trust you, like you, want you to succeed, want to help you. They just need to know how to help you. And so we'll kind of tell you a little bit how to meet with them, how to explain what you're looking for. So a referral relationship is just like any relationship. It can't be built on what can I get out of you, right? That doesn't provide for a healthy relationship most of the time. So this relationship has to be a two-way street. And that's why the biggest thing about getting referrals and networking is giving referrals. You need to give 10 referrals before you're going to actually get a referral. Doesn't always work that way, but that's a great average usually. So become someone who gives referrals. Become that person of influence. That was one of the big things that I wanted to do when I got into real estate, was be a resource for people. Now my friends and family, I'm slowly becoming that resource, which is now becoming more of a headache than I thought I was going to be. But I have friends and family, and I like it. I like when they text me and say, hey, who's a good plumber? My plumber went out, or I need an electrician. I need to install some fans, or the only one that can put sprinkler systems in my yard. I want to be that resource for people. Because if I'm the first person they think of when they need something, well, then they're going to be much more prone to then send me business, return the favors that I'm giving them. And picking up my phone and sending a contact to someone, that's easy. That's no problem. I love doing that. I want to help out as many people as I can. So the quicker you can become a person of influence, a person with resources, then your circle, your network, your warm market, if you want to call it that, will be more prone to thinking of you when they have real estate needs, or when they know someone that has real estate needs. So the biggest thing is first become a giver. Refer people out. That's the biggest thing, because it will, the law of reciprocity, it will come back to you. And so when you get into any kind of conversation, and we'll kind of talk a little bit later about how to ask for the business, and one little tidbit is when you're talking to someone about real estate, or they ask you how the market is, how's it going, blah, 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 it's real easy to kind of transition into that. Tell them what your goals are, that kind of thing, ask them questions. And rather than asking someone, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? Do you have any real estate needs? It's easier to kind of ask them a roundabout question, like, do you know of anyone looking to buy or sell real estate? And that kind of allows them to think, I might be, or I might be interested in getting into real estate, or we might be moving in the next year, that kind of thing. So if you kind of deflect it off of them, it allows them to kind of think a little more, not take it as like, okay, he's coming at me for it. They start thinking about who else they know, who else they can help you with. And we're kind of bouncing around a little bit. I just have a few facts that I wanted to go over. So after you have clients, you have old clients, those are going to be your best resource for referrals as well, because these are people that have used you. They know you're good. They know you're competent. They know you did a great job. they're going to be the ones who are going to more easily refer you out to get more business. So the first 30 days after they're closing, and while it's listed, obviously, if it's a listing or while you're working with them, it's going to be the most ripe time to get referrals from those people. So these are people that go to work every day. All their friends and family know they're selling a house or they're buying a house, or they just sold or bought a house. All their friends and family, coworkers, they all know it. And they're constantly being asked, how's the house selling going? How do you like your new house? They're having these conversations over and over and over again, and it's real easy for them to just throw your name in it at that point. So stay in touch with your past clients. It's easy to reach out to them 30 days after closing, see how the move-in went, see if there's anything they need help with, they need a guy for anything, they need handyman to do anything, this, that. Again, be a resource for them. But reach out to them maybe 1 month, maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year after. Keep touching them because the more you can stay in touch with your past clients, those are going to be some of your best referral partners. Because again, if you did a good job, if you did a bad job, don't call them again.
Most people are not referral givers.
Right.
1 out of every 100 people is a person that is like a resource referral giver. The first challenge is for you to become that person, and for you to bring value to your relationships and bring value to the people that are in your circle. But you've got to become that 1 out of 100 first and be that referral giver. And then you have to realize that with your clients, most of the time your clients are not that person either, but they can be for short spurts. And like what Brett's talking about, right after the sale of their house, people who are not typically referral givers, they're kind of like in the zone. So that's where you can really get your clients to refer business to you is right after the buy or the sale. A good tactic would be like what I used to do is I would send a gift basket to my client's place of business instead of taking it to the closing. And then everybody goes, well, who's that from? Well, my realtor. And then you can put some cards in there. So that's a good way to kind of just, hey, why did you get it? I closed on my house. Yeah. So I used to do that just to kind of like use that time in that relationship for high impact to get referrals. But knowing that most people aren't going to do that, but first you need to become that person, and then you'll start connecting with people like you.
Yeah, like you said, a lot. Yeah, and that's why. So the Kevo system, when we go over these things, the system is designed to get you in front of 100 people a month to find that one referral partner a month. You do that for 24 months. You've got 24 referral partners. You're selling, 30 to 50 houses a year, more than you can manage. You're making as much money as you want to make. So that's why we're trying to get you in front of as many people as you can quickly, because we know 1% of them are actually going to be that referral. So you have to first, like Brandon said, first become that referrer, and then get in front of enough people to find those referrers. That's exactly right. When you do, so Brandon sends gift baskets. Someone at the office says, hey, I'm thinking about selling. They call Brandon. The next biggest thing, and if you don't do anything else, you have to show appreciation to that person who gave you a referral. Make it a huge deal. Whether that thing closes ever or not, the fact that they are putting themselves on the line to share your name and your service is a huge deal. You have to make sure they get appreciated publicly or privately. However, send them a thank you card, call them, gift cards, whatever you want to do. Make sure they know how appreciative you are of it, because if you recognize them for doing that, it's going to make them want to do it again. It's going to make them comfortable doing it again. If you forget about them, if you don't do anything, they're going to feel unappreciated. They're going to feel like you don't really care about them or their business, and then it's just going to fall by the wayside. So you have to keep that going. You have to keep that relationship. Anything on that too? I was going to go over Michael Mayer's myths again about networking. All right. Anyone know Michael Mayer? Read his book, 7 Levels of Communication? If you have not, pick it up. It's a great, very easy read, but it kind of gives real examples of how to network as a real estate agent. It's a story based on a real estate agent who wasn't selling very much and then started networking and selling a whole bunch. And so it has a lot of practical advice in it. It's a great book. We recommend everyone read it when they're new. So some of the myths that when we went to his boot camp, or whatever you want to call it,
The seminar.
Seminar. There you go. He had a couple of referral myths, why they're myths, and how you can actually do the proper thing. So the first myth is the quality myth. I'm sorry, the quantity myth. I don't 100% agree with this. He says it's not a numbers game. It's a relationships game. So focus on less people. Don't worry about calling 1,000 people a day. Just call the people, and I'm kind of paraphrasing this how I think he should be. So call the people who are most influential in your business and referring you people. Again, it is a numbers game. When you're brand new, you're going to have to go out and bird dog some sales because your pipeline, your referral business is not built up yet. So that, in that sense, it's a numbers game. You got to get in front of as many people as you can to get as many sales as you can. When you start referring, when you start having that book of business that you can then touch on and your network that you can then touch on, then it's focusing on the relationships that yield the most results.
Do you guys know how long it takes to build a referral business? Anybody? Part of the system.
24 months.
24 months, 2 years. That's right. It takes 2 years to build a referral business. And part of the Kevo process is you're not gonna walk into this business and have referrals right off. That's why we teach you the open house and the for sale by owner and all of that stuff. We teach you to go wide first to find the 24 people that are going to be your referral. After that, after the 2 years, you actually don't have to do open houses if you don't want to, and you don't have to do for sale by owners if you don't want to. The system is meant to get you out of that, but when you have that referral business, and Steve would probably tell you the same thing, after you've got that network of 24 people or 30 people or whatever that looks like, you can pretty much make the connection and call them for anything you need. You can say, hey, I need realtors, or I can pick up the phone and call 5 or 6 people and basically stir back up all the business that I need to stir up. They just need to be reminded that you need them. But those people that you will meet, those 24 people who are referrers, will get you everything that you need to get. It's interesting because I was thinking about this yesterday when we were talking to Steve. We could have officed anywhere in the city. Okay, we office right here. Okay, one of our biggest referral partners is Susan Regier over there, the CPA. Now, the reason that is because, well, for a couple of reasons, we've been in the same office building and haven't built a relationship, but we started using her as a CPA, and we started sending her lots of clients. And then in turn, she uses us as her realtor. So that relationship, same thing with Bill, the owner of the building, he's a referral partner. But it's just those people are very, very influential people. But it took a couple of years to build a relationship and find out if they were going to be that. So,
and it started with referring.
Yeah, it started with us bringing value to the relationship. You bringing value to the relationship first.
Yeah.
Where the client in Texas is coming from them.
From Susan?
Right.
Through Molly, one of the people who works there. Her fiance lives in Texas, and when they wanted a list, they called us and said, "Can you help him get his house sold?"
So the Texas people should thank us for that relationship. There you go.
Right.
So the second myth that he touched was the bigger the database you have, the bigger results you have. Again, he's playing on it's not a numbers game. So he brings up the Dunbar numbers here, which really says a person can really only have about 150 meaningful relationships. After that, the brain can't process and hold more than 150 real relationships at a time. So break your database down to 150 people. Now that 150 is going to constantly change. People are going to roll in, people are going to roll out, but that's really the ideal size for a meaningful database that you can touch constantly, that you can have actual relationships with, that you can refer with. So that's kind of what you want. In his seminar, he uses the analogy, who's your Oprah? He's an author now. He used to be a realtor, now he's an author. So he knows if he doesn't have any referral partners, if he just has one referral partner and that referral partner is Oprah, then it's better than any referral partner on the planet, right? Whatever she advises, millions of people will do. So he said, who's your Oprah? Find your important people, your influential people who are going to have the most impact on your business, and that's who your 150 should be. The third one is touch your database a certain amount of time. That is the myth. So again, some people just say touch your database 33 times throughout the year. Automatic emails, postcards go out, whatever, that kind of thing. He is saying really if you want to effectively continue your relationship with them, that's supposed to say one phone call. So really, to effectively maintain a relationship, you can have one phone call with someone. He was saying one phone call can make up for an entire year of perceived indifference to them. So if I don't talk to them for a whole year and give them a phone call and have a 5-minute meaningful phone call, we're right back to best friends again. We're right back to the day I sold your house or bought your house with you. And so those emails, those postcards, they get them and then they forget about them 10 minutes later most likely. A meaningful phone call can make up for, like he said, a whole year of perceived indifference. So it's not about touching them a number of times. It's about touching them and having an impact when you do touch them.
I liked his, by the way, what's a great day to maybe call somebody?
Birthday. Yeah, this is a good one.
There's an app called Slidial, which you have, right?
Uh-huh.
Which allows you to leave a message for someone.
It goes right to their
It goes
voicemail.
right to the Slidial. It's an app.
Slide eye.
Slidial. And it goes right to their voicemail.
Yeah, so he does a...
So what he says is the day before their birthday, so that way he's the first person to call them and wish them happy birthday. He calls and leaves a message and says, hey, I've got a busy day tomorrow. It's packed with meetings, but I didn't want to let tomorrow get by without me telling you happy birthday.
Really good
So
idea.
I hope you have a great day, and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
So-
you're the first one.
you're the first one.
That's great.
You're busy,
Yeah.
and you cared enough to give him a call,
Yeah.
which most people won't. Like a text is okay. A Facebook message sucks. If you tell somebody hey, happy birthday on Facebook, yeah, there's a million people, but very few people will call them. But you are the type of person that will call them.
Right. Very impactful message. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And it plays along with that. Have meaningful, impactful interactions with them, not just canned emails that go out from a CRM you bought or something like that. 4 is stay top of mind with everyone. I don't know how to write this. So the idea, the myth is you have to stay top of mind with everyone, right? Send them emails once a week, once a month. Make sure stay in front of them so they know you're a realtor all the time. So if it ever comes up, then they're going to refer someone to you, right? That's the idea. What he's saying is each person has different value when it comes to your business. So my wife would be like, and he kind of tells you to rate them, A, B, C. My wife would be an A because she's not going to refer any other realtor, I hope. Right? Just me. I'm the only one she's going to tell people about. I don't really have to hammer her much because I know she's going to refer me. My parents, my wife, my best friends, stuff like that. These are people that I don't really need to dig into a lot and kind of remind them, stay front of mind with them a bunch because I interact with them all the time and they know. So, let's try that. I know why you abbreviate everything now. I'm trying to write everything. So each person has
That's why.
yeah. So each person has different values. What he's saying. Don't stay front of mind with everyone. Focus on the people in the A group. They know they're going to send you business. We don't need to stay in front of them quite as much. The people in the B group, that's people we want to focus on. The C group maybe focus on a little bit less because they're going to fall in and out. You're going to have a constant revolving door of people who kind of send you business. Appreciate them when they do, but don't focus a ton of your time on it. Those people in that B group, those are the people we're actually having referral conversations with. We're actually calling, we're talking to. How can we help you? This is how you can help me kind of conversations. People that can refer, they're influential, and you want to maintain them. You want to move them into the A group if you can, right? So those are the people. So different people are going to have different value. You're going to want to treat them differently. And then this is kind of the biggest one. The myth is you should ask for referrals. And it's true, but he kind of changes how he does it. So he tells you to have referral conversations. Don't just sit down with someone for coffee and ask them to refer me someone. That's more of a selfish way to do it, and it's kind of off-putting a little bit. What he is telling you is to have referral conversations. So a referral conversation is going to be asking them about their business. Again, be a referrer first. Ask him, how can I help your business? What are your goals? What's going on? The FROG method, FROG, family, recreation, occupation, and goals. Those are the 4 things you can talk to people about on a referral conversation. Friends, recreation, occupation, goals. How's the family? Great. You guys are going skiing this winter? Whatever. How's work going? That's when you can kind of get into it. How's work going? Great. What are you guys working on? What are your goals? How can I help? That kind of conversation. The rule of reciprocity. Yeah. Again, the rule of reciprocity. If I ask this person what their goals are, what they're working on at work, how can I help, they're gonna then turn around and ask you. 99% of the time, if you ask them a question, think about it when you say, "Hey, what's up?" Nothing. What's up with you? They always repeat your question right back to you. Anytime you say anything. And so the rule of reciprocity, they're going to then ask you those same questions. And that's when you get into your referral conversation. He says have referral goals. So don't have sales transaction numbers that you want to meet. Have referral goals. Just tell them work's going great. I'm actually trying to refer out 5 people a week and receive 2 referrals a week. That's my goal right now. And if you say it bluntly like that and very plainly, you're not asking for referrals. You're just telling him your goals that you've set in your business. And then now he knows how to help you. He knows how to help you reach your goal. He knows how to help you succeed.
The question, is you're asking them, how can I help you with your business? My referral goal is to send out 10 referrals and get 2. How can I help you?
Yeah. Who can I send you? How do I help
One of the
you?
main things that happens after we do a networking meeting is everybody goes and talks to a lender because they're calling you all the time. Don't talk to the lender and try to get into a referral conversation with them. They can't do anything. Lenders cannot do anything for you.
They come to us.
They're coming to you for the business. They cannot refer you any business. So don't go talk to somebody from First Mortgage or wherever, right? We use Shelby because Shelby does a fantastic job, and we know that he's going to get your deal done, and it's going to be done quickly. But and we vetted him, and we know that. But lenders are not who we're talking about. We're talking about Steve's got a guy that trims his trees, who sends him 2 deals a year, right? And I'm sure you probably sent him plenty of people for tree trimming or air conditioning. We've got referral partners, right, that you're going to build, and you're going to send them business, and they're going to send you business. So those are the type of relationships that you want to build, not with lenders. So that's what I'm talking about.
The guy that's actually fixing our floors is anyway. So he's fixing them. He's made it out of the bedroom finally. So that part's fixed. We can shut the doors. But immediately, for a couple of reasons, the guy, he's doing a great job, and I want him to keep doing a good job because he's not finished. So I immediately started trying to talk to people about, you need wood floor. This guy's great. Well, I've already got him 2 referral jobs already, and I went back and I told him, I said, hey, it was actually Steve Schaefer said, oh, we need two houses done. So I called, talked to the guy and I said, hey, did Steve call you? He said he's got 2 more jobs for you. And the guy goes, oh, no. Anyway, so he said he's got 2 more jobs for you. And the guy's, okay. So I'm going to follow up with Steve to make sure he does calling. Because, one, this guy typically only does new high-end construction stuff. So he could be a good referral source for our company. The other reason, I just want him to do a good job while he's in my house. So it's like, if he already knows, so I do that immediately with anybody I ever deal with. I immediately try to find some way that I can start referring them out business, because I know that's how everybody survives. If you're in this kind of, or their kind of business or what we do. So it's just a way to make sure it gets done right. And then what's funny is if you just do this with everybody, then sometimes they go above and beyond something they wouldn't normally do. You don't even have to ask them. They go, oh, well, you have furniture that was in the way. We just went ahead and moved it for you. And then if you don't have that relationship with them, then they're going, yeah, you need to get somebody over here, or we're not coming back until you fix it, or it's a real relationship with people that are doing work for you or with you or however you're doing it. And you just take that mindset up, because I really didn't think, other than I did want them to do a good job. That was it. I just wanted, and immediately started talking about them.
And that's the thing, when you use someone who is referred to, you're going to get that preferential treatment because they know, I mean, if those guys came over to my house and did a bad job, I'm going to tell Steve about it, and then Steve's going to get on them. And Steve sends them 3, 4, 5 things a month. So I'm going to get treated just like Steve gets treated, ideally. If they don't, then you need to look around a little, right? But that's the goal. So you can see the benefit of using referrals, and with that much of the benefit, it really behooves you and your friends to actually refer out because you know these people do a great job, so you want to get them out. So the referral conversation, again, he kind of lays out what he says 4.5 questions are to kind of dig into someone's, and he lays out frog too. But ask someone what their goals are, what's their biggest challenge right now. Again, we're trying to get into how can I help you? And these are the questions that you can kind of ask. What's their goals right now? What are they trying to hit? What sales goals or transaction goals, whatever it may be. What's their biggest challenge? What are they struggling with the most? What have they tried? What's your next step? And then by when do you want to complete this? These are just kind of, again, questions you can ask this person to hopefully dig into how you can help them so that you can then begin to help them. And then, does that help at all?
Yeah.
And then once you do that, once you make a conscious effort to assist this person, to help this person, then again, that reciprocity, you're going to get that back. They're going to then turn around and ask you these same questions. So have answers ready. Let them know how they can assist you. Because it's going to be just important to receive and work those referrals as it is to hand out the referrals. Anything else? Anything?
Is that a pause?
Yeah.
Well, now, I do have some stuff.
Uh-huh.
We had some interaction with some Texas folks, so they need to hear you.
Yeah, take it.
That was quick. So what I was going to say is that, like, when you first get started, it feels like, and what I'm about to say, it sounds impossible, but it's really the truth. When you first start out, you're thinking, oh my God, I got to sell one house. I got to find one buyer, one seller, and it's really difficult. After you spend the 24 months doing it the way we're showing you, where you're really just developing relationships with people. And what I mean by that is there are some people in different categories. You're going to probably have, if you're social, there's going to be a group of people that you might go to dinner with, or you might go to parties, or other events with that group of people. And typically that group of people is only going to be there might be 7 to 10 couples max that you and your spouse both can get along with, right, in that group.
Yeah, it takes a long time to build that one.
Yeah, that's right. So it's like you can't have this unlimited, like, oh, we can go out and socialize with 50-something people. That's not going to happen because either one of the couples don't like one of them. I mean, it just doesn't work. So getting a smaller group that you kind of do stuff with, and I'm not saying every weekend. I'm talking about, every 6 months or, a couple of times a year. They're the group that, like, when somebody's birthday happens, they might call and say, hey, let's all go over here and meet at this restaurant for dinner. Okay, that kind of group. Well, that group, and you really find a group of people that you want good referrals out of. Because if you're hanging out and your group of people all live in, or all live in $100,000 houses, then what's going to happen is your referrals are going to come. They're going to be $100,000 referrals. And I don't mean this in an ugly way. I'm just saying you're going to get the kind of referrals of the groups that you hang out with. So it's okay to keep moving into different groups of people as you go through your career, because a lot of times as you start moving in and you start going up and up in your income, you're socially don't have anything in common with sometimes groups of people. Because if your group of people are talking about how they're going to make their house payment, and you're sitting there talking about going, traveling overseas and going to the beach next week, they don't have anything in common with you. So socially, it's not going to gel because you don't have anything to talk about. Because you're not even, you're going like, I don't even know how much my electric bill is. But I'm just saying you're going to move naturally through that group anyway. And now past that group, and I get a ton of referrals out of that group if I want to. Now I'm cautious where I don't ask about. I completely do not talk about real estate at all, because I'm scared to death they're going to start sending me referrals, which I don't want. I know. Well, here's how bad, and people have been doing this for a while. There's 4 of them here. They can tell you, I don't even have time to get it anymore to take for them to go, hey, would you, because what has to happen if they'll go, oh, I've got a friend, they got a house they need to sell, and I go, okay, and they'll say, hey, won't you just give them, they'll text me and say, won't you call them? Then that means I got to call them. I have to spend 10 or 15 minutes talking to them and figuring out who they are. I know I'm going to get the business. Then I got to figure out how to let somebody explain to them that I'm not going to be the realtor, that it's going to have to be, and then I'm going to have to try to hand them off. If I wanted to open up my network again, I could get 10 or 15 of those every month. But I don't even have time to do it. I don't even have time. I don't have those 15 minutes of conversations to try to even do that anymore. Which you got. So I purposely block that part off where people are going. I'm almost like saying, I'm not in the business anymore. Not really. But I notice every time I go hang out with any of that group of people, automatically the referrals just start happening, and I really completely avoid it. So once you get to understand, if you build enough just relationships with people, now let's talk about the people where the bulk of your business comes from. That group that you hang out with, great resources, but the people that you can just pick up and talk to every couple of months on the phone, just want to check on you guys, see how you're doing. It's people that you're not socially hanging out with. You just call them. They may be just other business people. What can I do to help you build your business? That's why my conversations. Those are really how you can build your whole business, is just getting on the telephone and calling people. And my goal is when I really wanted referrals, if I could just make 5 phone calls a day, 5 days a week, I'd bury myself in business. And then eventually, after I did it for a couple of weeks, I had to stop calling because I'd have too much work to go do. And it's just simple conversations like, hey, how's your business going? Are you looking for more clients? Whatever it is. Are you guys remodeling your house? Yeah, we are. Here's a great tile guy. Here's a great plumber. Here's a great electrician. Do y'all want to do it yourself? I mean, it's just being a resource, and I'm not calling them thinking they're going to give me. I mean, I'm not really calling them to say, hey, I need a buyer or seller. I'm just calling them, just talk to them. That's it. And you want to keep it that simple, because I think what makes us all uncomfortable is when you call and you think you're asking for something. That's when people start shutting down anyway. Like, oh, if I have to call them, they're going to think I want something. Well, I'm letting you off the hook. You don't have to call them, ask for anything. You call them to find out what you can do for them. That's all that you do.
No? You know how we all do this, where you go, hey, we should get coffee sometime. And then you never, and then you say, like, I'm never going to go do that, right? Because I'm never going to go. We say that, right? It's time to start having coffee with those people. You know who they are, right? And you know who those people are. It's like, I need to get to know them, and you never do it. Those are the people it's time to go start having coffee with. And really, the relationship with those people, I'll tell you, okay, so I'm going to use an example. So Taylor Richardson, who's our preferred insurance guy, basically he was referred. Taylor was referred by one of my referral partners. So she said, you should go sit down with Taylor. So Taylor and I had in common, we were kind of in similar places in business. Well, we started having coffee once a month with absolutely no agenda, but just to kind of talk through, what are you going through? What am I going through? Just share information and stuff like that. Well, he never, ever asked me for our insurance business. Not once. But one time I just said, hey, you guys do like P&C, property and casualty, right? Because we need kind of a referred insurance person. He goes, yeah, we do it. I said, do you think you could do that for us? He goes, yeah, absolutely. And just out of building that relationship and realizing what type of person he was, he became and he never asked for the business. He became and he gets what, five or six referrals a week from our organization. Okay, so that's kind of how you want to think about networking. It's not necessarily what can I get out of the relationships. It's what type of relationships do I need to start having, and what people should I start having them with? Because basically what you're doing is, what is it Charlie Tremendous Jones says? There are only two things that will change in your life: the books you read and the people you meet. Right? It's time to start meeting the people that you need to be like. Does that make sense? That's how you need to elevate your social group.
And I was going to ask you, did you notice that you start asking influential people actually more for help than you used to?
Yeah.
Which is kind of but asking for help from other, just advice on whatever it is you might want to know from somebody. I never would ask other people like for help, because there's a weird thing, I don't know what it is, but there's a weird thing. I don't want to ask anybody for anything. But then the longer you start doing this, you start realizing, you'll start asking people like, hey, I need I'm looking for a tax attorney now. So I spent 2 weeks trying to network through people going like, hey, who do you use for a tax attorney? Do you have one? And so then you kind of start doing it. Well, what happens is when you start, and it really hit me, when people ask me for my help or my advice, it makes me feel important. It does. It makes me feel like I'm being helpful. Well, it does it to other successful people or influential people. When you're asking them for help or advice, they don't look at it as like, oh my gosh, you're bothering me. They're looking at, you've made them feel important. Not the other way around. And I had to get over that. And I also noticed that when I worked in retail, and anybody else worked in retail ever? Okay, there we go.
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
I got fired.
Okay.
That's the best day of my life.
Because I worked in food service for 5 minutes, like as a waiter.
Well, okay, so I always noticed the people that were the wealthiest asked for more. They asked for more discounts, more, right? They always were the ones like, oh, bringing in the newspaper, going like, I think this was on sale. Yeah, like a month ago. But I go, okay, great. It's like no problem. But the people who actually needed to save money never asked for it, which is so weird. But I noticed that trend is that they ask for, what's on. It was not beneath them to go, hey, if I could get this thing for 50% off, even if it was something cheap, it was $20 item. Hey, I think there was a 30% off sale. So it's just, that's you. So that's just a habit that you want to get yourself into doing. Ask people for help, because it actually makes them feel important and makes them feel valued when you value their opinion or value their advice, whatever it's going to be about. Every once in a while, we're very free with child advice because we have 7 children, right? Now, we always put a disclaimer on the back of it. It's probably not going to work out like what we say. So, but we do get a lot of questions because we have a child of every age bracket you can imagine. So it's like our thing is always like wait it out. It'll be fine. It'll work out. Any questions about the networking, or does it click? Does it make sense how you get there? Because you can operate this whole business from your telephone in the office and generate all the business you want, as long as you'll pick the phone up. Texting, again, emailing does not work very effective at all. A phone call, a 10-minute phone call, can change everything. And if you only have 10 people that you feel comfortable, you can pick up the phone and just call every couple of months. Then every month, make it where you've got 10 or 15, where you add 5 or 6 more people where you can do that, and you just keep adding them, and that group will get big enough, and it will get a big enough group that you can get on the phone with, and they'll start referring you. One of the realtors, I know this guy that he built his whole business. He would take a notepad, and every time he had a client, he sold a house, he wrote them on his notepad. Well, he called those clients every month just to check in with them. And he started from, he was like 23 years old when he started. He's been in the business 6 years now, and he closes around 50, 60 houses every year consistently. And all he ever did was, after he sold them their house or worked with them, he just wrote their name on a legal pad, and he called them every month just to check in. And second month, he might have had 3 people. Fourth, well, now it's a notebook of, and I know he can't possibly do it anymore, but so now it's not monthly. I think it's now he makes it through that list quarterly. Every client he has ever worked with, he calls once a quarter. Hey, just wanted to see how you guys are doing. He built that's how his entire business was built, with a legal pad, and he operates just like a machine. It's like that. But okay, everybody's qualified to do that. You do not have to be trained how to pick up a phone and go, hey, how y'all doing? Right? There's your training.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
If you're not following up with your past clients, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, it will literally, it'll vary. I know what he has to have done now. I haven't asked him, but I'm sure he's now calling back on a routine basis all the people that bought a $400,000 house. I mean, he just built himself a house that was around 600 and something thousand, and he's not even 30 years old yet. So, and I bet, knowing him, he paid cash for it because he is a gigantic saver. Anyways, what?
I said, is he married?
Yeah, that's yeah. Yes. But I'll let you know if
Anything happens.
anything happens here. This is Oklahoma.
Yeah.
50-50 shot.
I wanted to show one thing before we finished. Something that I found kind of relative.
It's kind of relative.
Yeah. But it's really good. And I can't believe we've never used it ourselves. So, yeah.
I've got a little comment from Texas I want to share real quick.
They don't like you to share.
Networking, what not to do. If somebody says that they had a family member pass away, don't respond on Facebook if you need to sell your house.
Go on.
Don't say that.
One of us didn't do that, did they? Okay, can everyone read that? So this is the what is it? Can't remember the guy's name. Edgar Dale Pyramid of Learning, and they're studying students and retention rates and how to retain certain information. And so this just really goes along with our training. Again, our biggest thing is we want to get you out there in the field, meeting with clients, meeting with people. We want to be there with you. And so it goes through how do people retain stuff. Lectures is less than 10% of people can retain information that way. By reading it, about 10% audio visual type stuff, 20% of people retain information. Demonstrations, discussions are at 30 and 50%. So hopefully Saturdays are supposed to be more discussion based. This time we've been talking a lot, but discussions, interaction, about 50% of people learn. The biggest two are actually practicing it, doing it, whatever it is you're supposed to be learning. 75% of people learn more effectively that way. They retain more information. And then 90% of people learn more as they teach it. So when you're talking about FSBOs, open houses, networking, something like that, the best and only way, statistically, the best way for you to learn it is to go out and do it. You're going to suck at it when you first start, right? No one's going to be great. You don't know what you're doing, which is why we're out there with you, so that you can at least have someone there when you're sucking, right? But we're going to train you. We're going to constructively help you, obviously. So as you're out doing it, you're going to learn so much quicker. These are a great forum to have discussions and talk about examples and situations, but you're not going to learn as much as when you're out there doing it, when you're out there networking. If you go network with 10 or 15 people, you're going to get much more effective at it than just sitting in here listening to us talk to you about it. So the only way to get better in this business and anything you're doing is to actually go do it. And so I found this, and I thought it was really, I'd never seen it before or heard of it. I thought
So
it was
what you're
really,
saying is that
we accidentally did
the
something.
person that's going with the new person
Yeah, that's learning too.
is like 90% learning.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey, we could be onto something here.
Yeah. So if you're working, even if you're newer and maybe you're working with someone who's newer than you, going on those appointments is helping you just as much as it's helping them. So don't feel like you don't have anything to offer. You're helping yourself as you're doing this. You're growing and developing as a mentor, as a trainer, as a person, and they're growing as a realtor so they can move into your role at some point. So, yeah.
We like that.
I know. I like it a lot.
Do you know why that is? What happens with realtors is they become unconsciously competent. They know what they're doing, but they don't know why, or they don't know what it is. They're like, oh, I can go sell somebody a house, and they're not paying attention to what they're doing, the steps they're taking. Mm-hmm. When you're teaching somebody else, it causes your brain to log in. You're like, okay, I'm telling them, what am I doing? Oh, I'm doing that. Why am I doing that? Mm-hmm. So you're learning what you're doing by teaching somebody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'm glad we're the only company
I
in
thought
the United
this-
States doing it.
I thought this was Monday
Let
worthy.
that out.
That is Monday worthy.
I think this is
That's
Monday
morning.
Monday
That's
worthy,
right.
so we'll
That's
bring it
good.
up.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I found it like a week ago, and I thought, this is...
As a teacher, have you
Yeah.
seen it, Blaine?
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, check it out. We got cool, like,
Oh, whoa.
Uh,
Trippy. But, yeah, so, and it goes along really well with what we do. And so, it's a no wonder, right?
yeah.
All
You
right.
just can't talk about it.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta do it.
Yeah, and we got stats to back it
I
up.
think that that's really good because like people like me that are new that I still feel like I know nothing. When I'm working with people, like we did an open house and I've gone with Mark to FSBOs and I mean, it definitely and so it makes me feel like okay, I don't have to be like an expert before I start recruiting.
Yeah.
Well, right. As a matter of fact, in the medical field, it's pretty common. It's watch one, do one, teach one. Right? You do it. They do it 3 times. Watch one, do one, teach one. That's kind of what we're.
I could be like a perfect example. How many times have you ever sat down and tried to learn a new card game and somebody's sitting there trying to describe
Yeah.
how to play this card game?
Yeah.
Just
Just
play a
do
practice
it.
hand.
Yeah, just do
Play
it.
a practice hand.
And you
Check it out.
pick it
That
up.
was good too. Yeah.
I
They're
got
practicing.
stuff I'm gonna write.
You don't have to learn everything before you do it. You just do it.
Yeah.
No pressure. Practice hand.
And the cool thing about real estate is, what are there, 2,200 sales a month? And so if you screw one up, there's plenty to go around. So go out there, and I mean, that's the only way. I was telling people in here before I started, when I was part-time, my first 9 months, I sold 9 houses, but I probably had 15 contracts, 6 that busted. I probably worked with 30 people that just fell off the face of the earth at some point because I wasn't doing a very good job. And I still did all right, So go out there and just
How many?
And just
well,
do
we
it.
all have stories like that. Not to pick on you, but how many open houses, Jasmine, did you do before you picked up somebody? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That was actually my fault. But
I'm not accepting what Brett said is my fault. Yes, yeah.
We'll split it.
Yeah, you're gonna. This is a very complex industry. You're gonna screw it up. Just might as well go ahead and consciously.
Get it out of the way.
It's out there.
Screw up.
Yeah.
We're actually good when it you and nobody wants to hear this, but it's really the truth. And you've heard coaches say it. You don't learn anything until you mess something up.
Mm-hmm.
And that, now we all want to say, I don't, we'd all, if we have our perfect world, we'd go in like, okay, I want to walk into this business. I want to start selling 3 to 5 houses a month. I want everybody to say yes to me, right? I don't want anybody to ever object. When I call them, I just want to run over there and I want them to list and I don't want to have to follow up. That's what we want to happen. But in reality, you learn nothing by things working out easy. Nothing.
And sometimes
you don't
you
ever
can use them as a negotiation tool if you screw something up.
Yeah.
You don't really.
You gotta turn it around and use it to your advantage.
You have to learn, implement, fail,
Evaluate.
Evaluate, yeah.
Each time you fail at a higher level.
Yeah.
That makes,
Yeah.
which is, I guess you have to fail falling up.
Yeah. Fail forward.
Fail forward.
Sometimes you fall down, evaluate comes in.
Sometimes the only way up
Because
is
if you just
down, right?
fail,
What movie is that?
Your spiral's not going to go up.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It is, because it is, we associate failure with pain. So if you could just run out there and go like, okay, I'm going to get all the pain as fast as I can, then you'll actually learn faster. Just get as much rejection as you can get right out of the gate, and then it'll be over much faster. Like pulling off a Band-Aid to a skin.
You get really thick skin though, and then you're like,
And then the things that all the problems, you don't realize that how many problems you just created yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're doing. And all the stuff that new realtors face in the beginning of even the strange conversations, like how did I get into this mess? You don't get into them later because you see what's going to happen before it happens. You had them all off, and then it doesn't even happen. It's just what's that?
No,
Add it.
Alright,
You have to stand up though. People in Texas have to do it.
so to kind of add to that, Darren Hardy always talks about your recovery time after you fail, making sure there's that long. Brandon could testify. I had a long recovery time. Like if something happened, I was like gone for a week. It took me like forever. Like I just kind of disappeared and just rolled into a dark room and like hated myself. And so Darren's like, try to make that recovery time very minimal. I think his is like 10-minute max. He'll get in the car, beat the steering wheel, and then kind of get over it type situation. And so a great testimony to this is one of my agents, Kia, actually had a failure this weekend where she realized that she lost a fizz boat to Brett Boone. It was like a stab in the gut. She's like, I just knew I had this one in the bag. And so she just kind of talked about how she felt like a failure. And I was like, well, how long did it take you to kind of get over it? And she was like, an hour. Like, for an hour, I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to make any more calls because she was doing her follow-up calls when she found out the information. And the clients kind of told her why they listed with Brett Boone. And she was like, but then I decided, okay, I'm going to pick myself up and I'm keeping on my follow-ups. And she got 2 listings with the other follow-up calls that she did do.
Yep.
So, I was kind of saying, if that was me, I would have been done for the day, for the week, and then I would have did my follow-up calls the next week, and it would have been too late, because those other 2 people would have already listened to someone else. So just kind of making sure your recovery time is short when you do fail.
Let me tell you something. FISBOs are a math problem. They are not, I can tell you, anytime a realtor goes, well, this one, I think I'm going to get it. I'm like, they're not. It just, and the ones you think you're gonna get, you're not gonna get. The ones you don't think you're gonna get, you'll get. And it's so funny. They'll call you, be like, hey, we haven't followed. I need to list my house. Can you do it? Like, oh, I didn't even like you. So don't ever. It's just you have to realize it's a math game, and you just have to do enough of them.
It's like if you need a sale to close and you're almost out of money. It ain't closing.
Yeah, that's right. You needed to close Friday to pay your mortgage.
Yeah, it's not closing.
Yeah.
If you got plenty of money in the bank and you don't care if it closes, they'll all close.
Yeah, true.
Don't know why.
Shit.
That's the way it is.
it's true.
I've seen it.
Very true.
You've lived it.
I've seen it. Yeah. All right. Well, I just wanted to go over that because I thought it was really, really interesting. So
Monday. What are we gonna do
Monday worthy. Anything else? Any questions? Any scenarios?
We were talking about like throwing a little doing
gifts or something after you close a sale.
Mhm.
And I know that there's like a cost limit, like is it $25 or something like
Yeah.
that you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Because on one, I've got two sisters who are selling their mom's house, and I'd like to get them. Can I do 25 each, or is it 25 total?
Listen,
And-
I would just get what you want to get. You can only write off $25.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So that
It's not that you're like they're gonna like.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That's just how much you can write off.
All right.
So just get what you
Are you on tape?
This is not legal advice, by the way.
No.
No,
You
it's
can give
fine.
them whatever you want.
As long as they don't turn you in.
Just,
Yeah, you can get your client. Well, yeah, you can get them whatever you want. You just
Well, like
can
if you
only
throw them
write
a party or something, who's gonna know how much you actually spent on,
Well,
The
Michael
IRS.
Mayer actually addressed that.
Yeah.
Michael Mayer, when he was here, actually addressed that.
Yeah, throwing parties, as long as it's not directly tied to a sale.
Yeah.
So if you invite, I don't know how it works.
Well, it's two categories. There's a direct like referral gift like to a client. It's $25 per client.
Uh-huh.
But when you're talking about self promotion,
Yeah.
If I want to self promote myself and I want to throw $1,000 party and write it off, I can do it because it's in self promotion. It's not
Well-
really tied to.
well, can you, if you're
Tied
doing,
directly
say, a
to one.
housewarming party
That's right.
to
So-
some at their house, is
Yeah.
that how
It's
it-
self promotion because you're
Okay.
promoting yourself to the rest of their network.
Okay.
Yeah, then you can do
Because
that.
we've done that, and
You can spend any amount of money that you want on self promotion. And
Is
it's
that- is
legal,
that-
and
can you
you
write that?
legally can write it
Yeah,
off.
that's why like Cutco, if you put they put your name on the knife.
yeah, those are
for
$100
you.
knives.
That's you could because it's a promotional item. You can write the whole.
Promoting, yeah, it's promoting.
Well,
you.
I'm not at that level yet. Can I have my name put on a Coke bottle or
Yeah. Yeah, that works.
sandwiches from Subway or some card?
Yeah.
Right.
I have a question. And I know that we can make these calls and ask people for what they need, and say, okay, no problem, I'll get back to you. But can we? And I don't know if we talked about it. Can we make a list of something that way we could, actually be familiar?
A list of
Of people to refer to.
referral
people
partners. Yeah, we're
for
building.
sprinklers and all this. I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
know we're
yeah,
building
yeah.
it, but
Well,
we've been.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Since you're working with Joe, just as soon as and here's the thing: the process doesn't work until you actually connect a referral to them.
Yeah.
So once you've connected it, so you've got time. So if somebody calls up and they're going, "Yeah, we're thinking about, our sprinkler heads are all broken, right?" And you may not know somebody. So pick up, go, guys. Let me see which is going to give you another reason to call them back again.
Okay.
What you want. What I would do, because then they go, oh my gosh, she really did it, and then you call Joe, and then Joe will tell. I promise you, Joe's probably got 12.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe will, and if he doesn't, he'll call me. We'll find one. Then you can call him back and go, okay, here's a great person, and then you call that person, say, hey, make sure they get connected. Then you call you're going to call not just give them the sprinkler number. Then you want to call the sprinkler company and go, hey, I've got a friend named so and so. They're going to call you, and then if you get the permission from them, if it's okay, give them their phone number.
Yeah.
So then you're building this whole little network up all the way around. And once you connect that referral, it is like it's how I got some of my friends I do it with. I'll send something. They go. He always goes like, okay, this isn't. Let's not keep score.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that people, it is kind of a score thing. They do, if you give them a referral, like just one, find them and get them somebody, they start all of a sudden, they may send you 10 deals till they feel like, oh, now we're equal.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, good, I'll wait till I hit about 10, then I'll give you another one. Yeah, they literally, and you don't have to say anything. They just go out of their way. I mean, and the attorney that we use, one of them, she's actually on our website. She still sends us 5, 10 clients a year here. Still. And she's a divorce attorney, so it's not like, hey, you think about getting a divorce?
Yeah, right.
Conversation you don't want to have.
Well, but and those are good. If you do know divorce attorneys, they're a great referral source. And you can see, there's
Unfortunately.
there could be 2-3 sales.
That's like
in
3
there.
houses, yeah.
Now nobody's happy,
I don't
but
care.
they're not
Except for
emotionally
me.
connected to their house.
Yeah,
Dude, like, I want out. So yes, so they're, I know, sad to say, they are great connections to have. Anybody got anything else? All good. I saw Lisa put some biscuits in there. Did you? I did. They were good. Was there 2 of them? 3 of them. Okay, so the app works. All right, good.